Lakers head coach Byron Scott joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Coach, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So, Coach, what are your thoughts about the NBA Finals tonight that starts tonight, this matchup between the Cavs and the Warriors?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think it's going to be a very exciting series. You got two great basketball teams. You got two superstar players, obviously, in LeBron and Steph Curry. I just like Golden State a little bit better. I think they've been pretty consistent all season long as one of the best defensive teams. It's not the best defensive team all year long, and they've been the best offensive team as well. So that hasn't changed in the playoffs. But Cleveland's playing great, and LeBron is LeBron, which scares everybody, you know, because when he's on and playing the way he's capable of playing, there's really nobody that can guard him. But he makes everybody else around him so much better. So I think the series is going to be an unbelievable series, but I do look at it going 6 or 7 games.
Now, you were the Cavs coach for 4 seasons, 2010 through 2013, and you drafted Kyrie Irving with the first overall pick in the 2011 draft. What have you seen from Kyrie so far in his career that confirms what you were thinking of him by drafting him first overall?
Well, we thought right away that he was probably one of the most complete 19-year-old players that we had seen, definitely that I had seen, especially on the offensive end. Just a kid that had no weaknesses. You know, you can put the ball in his hands. He can create off the dribble. He can catch and shoot. Mid-range game. He can post people, which a lot of people don't know. But, I mean, he's a very good post player as well. He's just very complete on the offensive end. The only problem that, you know, that we had with Kyrie at that time is that, you know, he didn't have to, or he didn't do a real good job of defending people. I think he's gotten better over the years, but that's still not his forte. But he is offensively, there's no weaknesses in this young man, and he's a joy to be around.
Now, you also took the job in Cleveland 6 days before LeBron sat down with Jim Gray and announced he was taking his talents to South Beach. When you took the job, were you hoping that LeBron was staying? Did you know or sense that he probably wasn't? What was your mindset about LeBron when you took the gig in Cleveland?
I had no clue what he was going to do. I was hoping, obviously, that he was staying. You know, when he took the job, I thought at that particular time it was kind of a win-win situation. If he doesn't come back, you know, they're going to give me time to rebuild, and if he comes back, we got a chance to win a championship. So I thought it was a great opportunity to, you know, hopefully coach one of the greatest players in the game. But I also knew about 3 or 4 days before he made his choice that he wasn't coming back from a reliable source. So I had told that to our then general manager. You know, my reliable source tells me that he's not coming back, and he was right.
Have you ever spoken to LeBron since then about this?
No. Why would I? I mean,
I don't know.
You know, I speak to him when we play him, and you know, we shake each other's hands and give each other a hug, and we'll say a couple of things probably through the course of the game, but that's about it.
Okay. Well, Byron Scott, Lakers head coach, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. So much is being made about LeBron's place in the history of the game. Jordan being mentioned, also Magic Johnson, who you obviously know very well, being mentioned, as well as your current all-world guard, Kobe Bryant. Where do you think LeBron fits in with all of those guys?
Well, I think he's right up there. You know, I think we also have to wait until it's all said and done to kind of really compare him to those guys. I know LeBron has a couple of championships, but you're talking about guys who have 5 and 6. You know, they did it over a long period of time. So I think comparisons are great. You know, for LeBron to get him something to shoot after, you know, he's probably looking at his contemporaries, which is Kobe, looking at somebody who's he's compared to, which is Magic. And he wants to get 5 or 6 championships. And I think until that happens, you know, he'll go down as obviously one of the greatest players. But, you know, just like Kobe wants to be known as probably the greatest player. That's why he wants to win another championship.
And I'd love to return to that subject in a moment. But before I do, just to wrap up the conversation with the NBA Finals with you, Byron Scott, game on the line, 2 minutes left, tie game. Steph Curry's handling for the Warriors. Should we, because this is part of the reason why he's compared with Magic is because LeBron can guard anybody on the court. Do you think we might see him on Curry with the game on the line on the defensive end?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Damon Shepard is another guy that's probably going to have some time guarding him. You know, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if this last-second play with LeBron, you know, not only, you know, suggests to David, you know, I got Steph. You know, everybody else match up with somebody else. And that's what great players do. They take that challenge. And I'm sure before the ball comes in and Steph sees him on him, Steph is going to want to shoot it. So, I mean, it's great to have that type of matchup. But I'm sure, Cleveland's going to throw a couple of different guys at him. And Shepard's one of them. I think LeBron's another one. Because after that, I don't think they really have anybody else that can guard.
And so, and Dellavedova, so much is being made of his style of play. Dirty, or he's a scrapper. From your coaching and also three-time champion, former playing day standpoint, where do you stand on Dellavedova's style of play?
I think he's scrappy as hell. I really do. I love his competitive nature. I'm sure he's going to get some time on Steph as well. But he's just one of those kids that's just a tough kid that's going to do whatever he can to try to affect the game. And I don't think he's a dirty player at all. I just think he's one of those guys that's got into a couple of misfortunes as far as, rolling over guys or hurting guys' ankles or guys hurting their ankle, whatever you want to call it. But I've watched the kid all year. We played against him a couple of times, and Cleveland have been on TV a bunch. And I don't think he does anything maliciously besides go out there and just play hard.
All right, let's move to your current team. Byron Scott, Lakers head coach. You mentioned during the season in an interview in March that you thought this might not be Kobe's last year. The general manager, Mitch Kupchak, says he essentially heard from Kobe that it will be. What do you think?
I'm still not convinced yet. I mean, I have to wait and see. But, knowing him like I know him, I know he's training this year like it is his last. He wants to go out, where he plays the majority of the games this year. He doesn't want to go out when he's hurt and things like that. And I know how hard he's training right now. But it's going to be hard for me to say that this is his last year right now. So I'm going to reserve judgment until the season's over. See how he gets through that season. I think if we have a successful season and we get the free agents and draft picks that we want, and he plays 60 games or plus, I think he might look at it and say, you know what, if we can get another free agent, we got a chance of getting right back there. And he might go at it one more year. That's kind of how I'm thinking.
So you don't think he's going to make an announcement before the season and have one of those, I guess, Jeter, Mariano type farewell tours where he goes into each building and everybody knows it's the last time? You don't think he's going to go out like that? He's going to reserve the right to tack one more on if he wants?
Yeah, I don't think that's Kobe anyway. I don't think he really wants a farewell and all that stuff. I think he just wants to go out and play. And obviously a lot of it's going to depend on how he feels. But right now, seeing him the other day, he looked great, say he feels great. We all know he's going to work his butt off to get ready for training camp. I told him as we get the roster together, we'll sit down and start mapping out, our training camp and things like that, because I can't have him go, every day in training camp. I want to try to preserve his body as much as possible. So, I'm just going by what I saw the other day, and he looks fantastic. So I'm not convinced right now that this is going to be his last year.
What do you think Minnesota's going to do with the first overall pick, Coach?
They're going to pick one of those guys that are available.
and then you choose the other? I mean, how are you viewing your number 2 overall pick?
And then we're going to pick one of the other guys that Minnesota didn't pick.
Right. So, and how much input will you be able to have on this subject, Coach?
Well, so far, every day that we've been going through, then Mitch and I and Jim, Jim has told me from day one that they want my input, want me to be involved, and I have been. I'm at every workout. I'm at every meeting. Because I've always done it that way. I've always felt as a coach that you should be in on everything, and you should have a say, at least a voice. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, it's up to Mitch to pick the guy, but you at least want to voice your opinion because you're going to have to coach this guy. So they've been great as far as that is concerned, and so everything is going lovely, and we'll just have to wait till June 25th to make those selections.
Now, I know you're excited about the future and the number 2 overall pick. It's just strange. I got to be honest with you. I've been here in this town for 12 years, seeing Laker fans sort of high-fiving over having a number 2 overall pick in the draft. I mean, you're part of the Showtime years. You know what Mr. Bus Jerry was building here. I mean, how difficult has this process been in a way for you, Coach?
Well, last year was difficult. Obviously. Everybody here in Los Angeles is used to winning. In the last 3 years, it hasn't been that way. So I think that's one of the main reasons that you're seeing so many people rejoice about us getting a second pick, because they know we have a chance to pick a player that can definitely help us not only now but in the future and get us back on track. So I think that's why so many people are happy, and we are as well as an organization. We're excited about this year's draft. We're excited about the second pick as well as our 27th and 34th pick. So, we see a light at the end of the tunnel. And last year was rough on everybody, including myself and including some of the players. But we also know right now that we're moving in the right direction.
Last question for you, Coach, and this may be the most important one of the entire interview, let alone my entire show. And I've got Jim Brown coming out in a couple of minutes. Do you know where Swaggy P and Iggy are going to be registered? Do you know that, so I could get them a gift?
I have no idea.
No?
I saw it on the internet the other day where he got on one knee and proposed, and that's about as much as I've seen and heard. So
yeah, apparently a
I have no clue.
10-carat ring, Coach, 10 carats.
Well, I'm happy for Iggy. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that might be the beyond with the bed and the bath. I don't know if that's where they're registered. I have no idea. Coach, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
No problem, Rich. Anytime.
You bet. That's the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, Byron Scott.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.